Hi, good morning everyone. Today is Thursday, August the 10th, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. We were just waiting on the CPI numbers, and then I got totally sidetracked on some other shenanigans. So I apologize for being a little bit late. Because we're a little bit late, we're going to go pretty short. Take a look at what's happening, folks. We've got a grinding motion to the south, but the dips are trying to be bought in the overnight. We literally have got no shadow on this candlestick, so people began buying almost immediately, and that is bullish, right? Everybody's bullish in the overnight. We could have ourselves a little bit of a correction where they fill the gap, because remember, if this is the close of the day and then we open here, if we do not have, no, that's not it. What is that? If we don't have the overnight pricing, it's going to show as a gap. And so that gap is going to run literally right up to this edge, right? We had CPI numbers come in a little bit hot, which drove the market down and then flipped the market up because people said, hey, they expect the Fed to cut at some juncture because they're going to have the markets fall apart or business fall apart or whatever. I don't have enough letters behind my name to predict what the Fed's going to do. And I have noticed that people who have been in the business of predicting that have been very wrong. So, not going to do that, not the game. So, if we take a look at where volume is building, you can still see here, got a lot of volume building. Traders are still trying to hold support as the floor. We have not retested the lows of the week, right? So if we begin to bounce here, that Wednesday low could potentially hold. And then that would mean we would be up to the top of the range today. So that's really what I'm thinking. We should have inventory correction, and that would mean that they would backfill the price or fill the gap, as it were. We don't know. Depends on how much of a squeeze is here. My thought is the following. Current candle, 2 candles to the left. What are we doing? If we hold the close of the first candle to the left, then we say, all right, I'm walking up that wall of worry. Now we're at the open of that first candle to the left and the close of the second candle to the left. So sellers are going to come in here and go, I think this is the top. And so there's going to be a battle here. If we pull back and hold the low, so pullbacks are the buy zones, right? So we're going to buy these bottom edges and we're going to sell the top edges until the market tells us that's the wrong thing. In the middle of this noise, it's another fight. And so you want to be kind of careful how that works. And you can see these exact formations here in if you look at the SPY chart. I've put the SPY channel up on the platform so you can see the kind of channel that we are working with. But you can see those sellers come in just as I mentioned to you. They're going to try and come in at this halfway mark because they're thinking, hey, I just retraced that whole candle body, and so I'm going to start selling. Notice 45.25 is still a critical zone. People are still selling there. You can sell there until it breaches. If it gets up past 27, you probably ought to get out and reset. Okay? If we lose 44.92, we're toast, because that's the low we took this morning on the hit of the CPI, and it immediately rebounded. Losing this line in the sand pulls us a little bit lower. The Keltner channel is still negative here, but bullish on the bigger time frames. All right, let's finally look at the, let's finally look at the Qs. Qs are trying to build a little volume here. Guess what? Doing the same thing, right? It's not rocket science, but it can be difficult if we overthink it. And the best thing to do would be to overthink it. My screen's just went dead. 6. System. All right. So that's what we've got going on here. They're going to try and battle here. Old supports, new resistance. This is still negative now, right? The NQ is the only one that's got this negative pressure event. And so they're going to try and sell this off. Can you sell it off? Of course. You can say, hey, 15,350 is, no, it's not getting up over there. I'm going to sell that. If it gets to 15,370 and it keeps going, there's a problem. All right, they are going to try to buy the dip. This lack of a shadow here is meaning wick. It's very, very bullish in terms of buying the dip. All right, did the CPI upset the apple cart? I have no idea. But what is going to be super interesting is how the chart recovers off of this range. I still think we dip into these lower edges, but we'll see. All right, again, the thought process is the following. Look at the monthly. Look at how important it is for us to hold this 15,350 area. It's huge from a monthly candlestick perspective, particularly. That's why they're buying these dips under here and why we should not be shorting as we get into these lows. All right, that's the big thing to take away here. Do not short the breakaway. It's got to be a failed bounce or the failure of resistance, or you're going to really open up your risk because of what's going on in the monthly candlesticks. All right, everybody, take care, and I'll see you on the platform.